My name is Rocky Christopher Mafafo, and I was born in Kimberley, in the ghettos of Kimberley, I prefer to say. I remember my first drawing was of a donkey, which I saw from a book which my mother bought. The book title was You Are an Artist. I saw it was important for me to document the history of my people. For instance, the squatter camps. But you must remember, people that stay in the squatter camp have not been staying there before. They come from the bundus and they come to the urban areas, and they've got to start a life by building a little shack with plastic, with whatever material they can squander and find to keep it cool so that water cannot come in. I predominantly am a watercolor lover. People say I'm a watercolorist, but I'm an artist. I do everything. I like doing interior designing with anything that I can do. I like to work with color. More than anything, I like to see color. This year is a self-portrait I did while I was studying at Roxdrift, 1977. It was one of my first paintings. It's an oil paint. It's oil on masonite. And it was the first year I was studying when I did this painting. The same year I did this one of my granny, who was the one that brought me up, actually. This is also oil on masonite. I took about 20 minutes to do this while she was sitting there, and I did it. Not so long time, about 2 months after that, she passed away. Selling artwork is one of the most challenging aspects of art, of being an artist, because most of us, we are not trained marketeers. We are just artists who sell our work from the studio, maybe from the gallery, art galleries that you contact, and you go around and show them your work. They might like the work. They ask you of the price, and you put the price there. They said that Africans do not read, so if you want to hide things, hide them in books. But I thought, no, man, let me take that out of the books and make pictures of these so that the pictures are there and the people cannot say, we don't want to have a look at these pictures. This is a typical example of that. This is the history in 1952 when the first reference books were burned here in Kimberley. In 1952, this was the Maibuye uprising. And the IDs, remember, you can see the covers, they are brown covers. It was just a thick book like that. And they burned them here. This part is where the police are chasing the rioters and those that were burning the reference book as they were known in those times. You can see that the uniform of the police is different from what they are wearing today. This is the brown uniforms that they were wearing. And in those days, the black policemen had only the batons. It's only the white guys that had firearms and so on. But the vans were also different. They were Land Rovers and Fords and so on. On the day of the Maibuye uprising, in the afternoon when this woman was coming from work as a domestic worker with a child behind her back, she got between the fires. She was in the crossfire, and she was fired at by the police or the soldiers, because there were soldiers and police that came down here. The bullet went through the child into the mother and killed both of them. Mr. Mabija was killed by the police, who said he threw himself down the building, but it's not so. He was pushed down the building. Well, maybe we don't know what happened here, but as the artist has got it here, if you see those spectacles here, is what Mr. Mabija used to wear. And these spectacles, when he was thrown down the building from the 6th floor in the Transvaal Road police station, which now will be named Mabija Police Station in the Transvaal Road, these spectacles, when they reached the ground, they broke into pieces. Now the artist, in their inner mind, in their consciousness, he tells them that nobody could tell what happened to Mabija, only the spectacles. That's why the story, you see it on the pieces of glass where he is thrown down by the police in one of them there. Special branches, we called them those days, came and took him away from his family. You can see his mothers and maybe wife or so on standing there. The man is handcuffed and put into a police van right there. And then that bubble dream about that is the man's image. You can see that portrait there. That is what is happening in his mother's consciousness. Every time he's thinking of the man. And you can see there is a drawing of there's a painting of the 6 stories from whence the man was pushed down from. And there are the 2 policemen standing at the window there, looking down towards where the body is crushed on the floor. There is no juice from the fruit of the tree of liberation struggle in South Africa. No direction, no erection. You lost your direction because there is no fruit on the tree of liberation. Children are going thirsty for knowledge. All they have is murder, 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 violence. You go to the tree of liberation hopefully looking for the juice from the fruit of its, but there is no juice, no fruit. There can be no juice from the fruit on the tree with no roots, the rock of creation, the head cornerstone of the builders of the nation. I know you will tell me of the tree of liberation that grows stronger when watered with the blood of the martyr. But what is the foundation for the martyr with no roots, if not the seed of the fruit of the tree of liberation, which is the truth?